What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? Afrojoe playing like a T.I. motherfucker. You tell like a T.I. motherfucker it is. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notification. Hit the like and share. Show your love. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, my group page, my fan page. And today we're gonna talk about Katt Williams and him spilling the beans on Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, uh, Curry, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, and we're gonna jump right into it because this is all on Club Shay, and he spills it, and he has a lot of people going off, calling him out. But I'm gonna end up showing what Lavelle Crawford had to say about it. Here we go.
Doesn't
Doesn't
mind us.
mind us.
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike. And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's three quick points. In Hollywood, they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds. That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was...
Sir, no one... Why no... He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he... What? So Ricky Smiley knows this. It's because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie. But I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy,
right,
where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was gonna play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm going to be funnier than you. What he told everybody was, Katt Williams, don't nobody know who he is. I'm on the radio. I'm with Steve and Said. Everybody know me. That's what he told everybody that would listen to on the set. That's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, not now, then he was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smliey again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
So that's why, because when we released that clip and he said that, you responded because he said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie.
So
that he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke? Yeah. He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
Right.
We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi.
You don't think Sam's a good comedian?
The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi.
It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot to get off your chest.
No.
You wanted to set the record straight.
Winners are not allowed to allow losers to rewrite history. I don't say any of these things if my name is not breached by these people on your platform. If you give a liar a platform to lie, then I'm not being messy by saying, hold on, that never happened, it's untrue, and there are hundreds of witnesses for each thing I'm saying.
So let me ask you this. What is your relationship with Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and Cedric the Entertainer as you sit here currently?
For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't 3 random guys. The way that Ricky Smiley kept appearing at all of my auditions is because of Steven Said. He would tell anybody that, listen, they got a gang on that side. They know what it is. They know who the gang is. Why Earthquake not in movies? Because he's illiterate. He can't read. And they found that out when they gave him a show and put the cards in front of him. Like, all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets. And this is the age of truth. And the truth doesn't need to be scared of the fact that people tell lies. Katt's on drugs. Where are the stories? Why is there no story of anybody who ever sold a drug to me, did a drug with me, was around me when I was inebriated? I got 5 daughters. I got 5 sons. Why would we tell these ridiculous stories? Because it's competition. You feel like, well, why comedy guys can't just get along?
Yes.
Why didn't you get along with the other teams you were competing against? If you're a Denver Bronco, why you don't get along with the Cowboys? Something wrong with you?
But I don't disagree. I don't dislike all the
no.
Cowboys. Katt, damn, you like dislike?
No, that's
okay,
not.
what comedians do you like?
Did you play against the team?
Yes.
I've taken 46 comedians with me on the road. 46.
Okay.
I'm not the comedian you can give that to. I only put on comedians that are funnier than me. Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faison just caught a stray.
Faison said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0.
So
why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. These big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2020. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever.
But you heard what Katt said. Katt ain't telling no stories. Katt ain't BSing nobody. And it's just the truth on what he's been saying. Now I'm gonna bring up what Ice Cube had to say. Ice Cube actually backs him up. Ice Cube is telling like T.I. is because he's not lying. And he sits there and tells people the truth. He's not lying. And I'm gonna trying to play it for y'all because he know he's gonna tell it. He's gonna tell it like T.I. motherfucker. Here we go.
Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago. So, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Ricky Smliey, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. All these guys I know are funny as hell. I didn't discover them. They were doing their stand up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that if I have an opportunity, I was gonna give them an opportunity. To me, that's what it's all about. Far as specific things, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, we do have them try out for different roles. So Ricky did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. And, Katt, said he wrote his role, which, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. Money Mike had a small role, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we start filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role and giving him more to do because he was on point. When we shoot these movies, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, play with the words, do their thing. We give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. Sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. When somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie. So in the movie, there's second thing I want to clear up. I would never shoot a rape scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies, they not raunchy. We did a movie called Players Club where the subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff was in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating. Craig and Day for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, a pimp that treats his woman, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, from the Joker brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script. It was never, we would never ever show that. That's not my style if you look at any of my movies. So, that was never a discussion. We, at that point in everybody's career, we.
See, it's like I said before. It's like I said. Katt Williams came with receipts, and people thought he was full of shit. And then y'all sit there and Steve Harvey and all them said they ain't never did it. They never did all this bullshit. If they coming out, I'm gonna play Mark Curry. I'm gonna play what Mark Curry had to say because what he had to say was straight on facts. Here we go.
Thank you.
So what's up with you and Steve, man?
Ain't nothing with me. Well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that.
On what show?
When he was on the bullshit talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching. Somebody called me and said, "Man, homeboy doing your material." So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. You know, this is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you don't have to do that, homeboy. Yeah. Right. So, you know, motherfucker, you made enough money, bitch ass. You know, wow. You made enough money, you did enough. You know, why are you on my material? Right. You know, what's that about? You know, and then, you know, people want to jump up, oh, he didn't know, he didn't steal your. So, yes, he did. Yeah. I mean, you know, so, you know. And so that there's no need to no one else has did that.
So this was on his talk show. Which talk was his TV talk show?
His TV talk show.
Okay, this was the one he had on NBC just recently.
Whatever, yeah. The one that damn, who took his show from him?
Kelly Clarkson.
How can Kelly Clarkson take your show, homie?
Hey, brother.
Damn.
You know, so
you got your show took by Kelly Clarkson.
You know what's crazy?
Damn.
I met my fiance on Steve's show, on Steve Harvey's talk show. Yeah. So that's a.
And you see that Mark Curry is backing up what Katt's saying. He's backing up what Katt's saying. And so, and it just people taking up for Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. And what was it? I think he was a Crawford. And I think it was him, a little bit of Lavelle Crawford talking about how Katt ain't lying. You see how everybody. I think it was Lavelle, but it just, I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry about the video, and I gotta get this out there because it's funny how it's like what Katt said. If you watch the straight tape, it's what Katt said. I agree. I said people taking up for him, Steve Harvey and Cedric Entertainer. But if you think back when Joe Rogan got Smith and Carlos Mencia lost his career for stealing Joe, and then you look at it now. You got people defending Steve Harvey. I'm gonna turn it back over to Mark Curry so y'all can see what else he said.
To you. It's up to you.
Did he apologize? No. He didn't know?
Of course.
Okay. How often does that happen in comedy?
I think it happens often.
Thief ass motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of thief ass dudes out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But other people, other comics, you guys know, right? I mean, and you kind of shun other, because I've heard other names. I'm not gonna mention any names about some of the comics that have these reputations for stealing people.
Yeah, a lot of people steal. Yeah. Every time I see a special, I see a little bit of some of my mannerisms or something. But I look at it like, oh well. You know?
Now you're on tour now, and you are doing the clubs. Do you stop people from coming in with their cell phones? Does it bother you now that we're in the social media world?
You can't stop it. Yeah. So you got to just be good. You can't stop people from videotaping. That lady over there was videotaping. So you know, right. They're gonna videotape. Just be good. You know, when you do it, just be good. You know.
Well, yeah, this is live, so it's going out.
Instantly.
People here, this is you're not gonna stop.
We're here.
But let's talk, because you know, like I told you out there, your mannerisms, your inflections remind me, like when you're doing some certain characters on stage, you remind me a lot of Richard.
That's right.
A lot of Richard, just like you do. I mean,
I think compliment.
I'm just like the same inflection, man. How much of an influence, obviously.
1993. And he talked to me.
But I say like this though, people gonna hate on Katt for what he says, and Katt's not lying. It's just some fact is they want to say Katt's lying, this and that. They go trying to throw things in his face. Oh, we doing better than you. It's true what they say. If you go back on YouTube and you listen to D.L. Hughley, you see how he never talked. Katt Williams never talked bad about D.L. Hughley. But if you go back and you watch D.L. Hughley do an interview talking about Steve Harvey and Bernie, Hughley's gonna say, "Yeah, Steve did do Bernie wrong." I remember when I watched the original Kings of Comedy, and they was doing the little snippets through the stand-up acts, and it was all for him sitting on the basketball court. Bernie Mac pointed out straight off the bat, and people on YouTube started bringing it up. It was a clip where Bernie Mac was looking in the camera, telling people, "I said, y'all don't want to give me no show. Y'all scared of me. You gave these three." And Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Cedric Entertainer was in that laugh and thought he was joking, but he was telling the truth. Even Hughley said Bernie Mac was telling the truth. I was like, they didn't want to give Bernie no show because they know Bernie had a mouth on him and he gonna speak with his mind. And he's right. Hughley had a show. Now, first it was Steve Harvey, then it was Cedric, then it was D.L. Hughley. All three of them had a show on TV. Bernie was the last one to ever get a TV show. I was like, and it's true. And Paul, I'm gonna tell you this: Katt Williams brought up. If you go back and watch the Shay podcast, he brought up. He said, "How you gonna call it the original Kings of Comedy?" Richard Pryor was still alive back then. Paul Mooney actually brings that up. Paul Mooney brings that up. Paul Mooney brings it up, talking about uh, how dare them do that? How dare they do that? Because Dick Gregory, no, what was it? How do they do that? How they do that where Richard Pryor was still alive? And I agree because one thing is he was telling the truth. He told it. It says at that time when Spike Lee came out with the original Kings of Comedy, Richard Pryor was still alive. Richard Pryor was still living. They should have did. See, to me, I sat there and I thought about when the movie came out as a kid. I was like, I was young too. If I was gonna do the original Kings of Comedy, this would be the lineup: Richard Pryor, uh, Red Fox, Robert Harris, and probably Sammy Davis Jr. The reason why I said you gotta think back how far back to go. I said I would have made Richard Pryor the closer. And the more that I would have had it lined up, original Kings, I would have had Sammy Davis Jr. go first. I would have had Robert Harris go second. Then Red Fox, then closing would have been Richard Pryor. That would have been your four original Kings. People gonna be saying, "Well, I don't know about Sammy Davis," but you're right on everybody else. Or Eddie Murphy, it would have been Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, Robert Harris, and Richard Pryor. Yeah, that would have been the original Kings of Comedy because they told you they was funny in their era. Or it would have been Richard Pryor, Robert Harris, Red Fox, and Bill Cosby. That would have been original Kings of Comedy. But I sit there and I look at it. I said, Katt's not lying. Luda did a response. I was like, Luda, Katt's not lying about you, man. You cut your hair. You could, like, for real. You say you got married and got kids. I said, you came out, you had that iconic look. You had that iconic look. The braids, the afro, the sideburns. That was your look. it's like saying Mickey Mouse took the ears off and kept the nose. And that's an ugly ass look for Mickey Mouse. When you got an iconic look, that is your look. Nobody can take it away from you. It's the same as Katt Williams got that pimp look. Nobody can take that pimp look away from him. But it seems like everybody want to get on Katt, but nobody wants to sit there. Like Mark, like I said, I showed Mark Curry talking about how Steve Harvey stole his act. And this video of him telling that joke. It's funny how this video of Katt telling his joke on Comic View is Cat in the Hat. And then there's video of Cedric later on doing that same damn joke on Original Keys. And then you look at Mark Curry do his stand up act about the box, the Halloween dressing up as UPS on his stand up, and then you see Steve Harvey do that bit on his talk show. And Steve Harvey's telling Mark, you need to grow up and get a career. How can this man have a career when you steal his material? When I look at it, Cedric and Steve are no better than Carlos Mencia. You are the black version of Carlos Mencia. Y'all stealing people's materials, and it's hard for comedians to even have a career when they got to worry about who's gonna steal their joke, who's gonna steal their joke. So Katt's not lying about that. Katt's not gonna lie. Ricky Smiley, I do agree about what he said about Ricky. I like Ricky Smiley, but I do agree. When I first seen Ricky Smiley, he had a character called Little Daryl. That was funny, but you end up playing Bernice, an old lady. Like really, he talks about Brandon T. Jackson, and I think if you go look up comedy, how you see Brandon T. Jackson telling his story. Well, Katt called me, telling me don't put on no dress, don't put on no dress. Katt was warning him, and there's been countless stories of comedians telling their stories about how they go to do stand-up acts at open mic nights across the countries at comedy clubs, and Katt would come out his pocket and pay them good money so they can survive. You don't hear this about on TMZ, or you don't hear about it on TMZ. You don't hear about it on Inside of Dish. You don't hear that. You don't even hear Katt giving money to comedians to survive, because he knows the struggles of trying to survive by telling jokes. And I'll tell you this, I'll tell you this, because I have my little story too. Back when I've told it before, back when Steve Harvey done the book Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady came out. This before he did the movie, he did the book. He came to Nashville, Tennessee. I wanted to meet Steve Harvey. And he was in the back. I was waiting for him to come from the bag, and I wanted to meet him. And he walked right past me, didn't even look at me, and like I wasn't shit to him. You probably said, I said, how you know? Because I remember he was at a Kmart. When he was on tour, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady tour for the book. This is like probably a year before he did the movie. And I'll tell you this, somebody made a joke, and I thought it was funny but true. And the joke was, how Steve Harvey gonna give relationship advice when he's been through several marriages? How he gonna give relationship advice when he's been through several marriages? You can't give relationship advice if you've been divorced 3 times. You can't do that. Then, but I'm gonna end it right here. I want to know what you think. Do you think Katt was on point? Because I think I do. Do you think Katt was on point? Do you think Katt was out of line? I don't want to be seen on Katt full of shit. He bitter. Don't be saying he bitter. No, I'm gonna say this before I end this video out. You can't call Katt bitter. Then the next comedian in line that you like come out and say Steve Harvey did me wrong. Y'all cater to them. It's like what Monique. It's like what happened to Monique. It's like what happened to Monique. Monique. Monique told everybody uh about Oprah, and they called Monique bitter. They call Monique bitter. But when Taraji P. Henson comes out and said Oprah's full of shit, y'all cater to Taraji. Don't pull that stunt that y'all did on Oprah on Katt. Then when the next comedian comes out and says Steve Harvey, Cedric Entertainment did them wrong, y'all cater them. If you can't take this with a grain of salt and you can't sit there and say, well, Katt's right, Katt's telling the truth, you know what, Katt's on point. If you can't do that and be prepared for the next one come out and stand behind Katt and the next comedian, then y'all don't need to be sitting up there judging Katt. And I hate it when people judge Katt. And then the next comedian say, I got deer on my Steve Harvey, and then y'all, oh, poor baby, oh, I'm sorry. No, don't do that. Y'all didn't do that shit for Katt. Y'all didn't do that shit for Katt. But tell me what you think down in the comment section. I'm Afrojoe, 10 like T.I. motherfucking is. Subscribe to my channel, hit that bell for notifications. Tell me what you think. Sorry about the audio and video. Forgive me. Peace, love, and Afro.